Newsmax is joining us now to talk about all this. Is a man who was down there at both towers working with the Mayor's Office of Emergency Management, Fire Department veteran, retired FDNY. We welcome in Tim Brown. And Tim, welcome, sir. Once again, great to talk to you.
Hey, Steve. Nice to be with you again.
Well, first of all, I want to start by talking about ride2recovery.com, and that 2 is the number 2, not spelled out, but the number itself, ride2recovery.com. Because when I called you the other day, you were riding around Boston or something. Tell us about that.
Right. Yeah, there are about 200 of us that were riding from Boston to Philadelphia. They're in the middle of the ride right now, and it's about 200 injured veterans who need help reintegrating into society, finding their place again with their new injuries, finding how to do physical activity, both in a group and individually, with their injuries. A lot of them are non-visible injuries, like post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury, and many of them are visible, such as amputations. This was started because of the high suicide rate in our military, which is around 20 every day, which is an epidemic. And I figured, those are the folks that went to war for us and volunteered to go to war for us and suffered some grave injuries, and it's our responsibility to help them.
Yeah, no, great cause. Ride2recovery.com. Tim, your thoughts 12 years after that day. Tell the folks, briefly how you alluded, or should I say you survived the collapse of both of those towers.
Yeah, I think the general feeling, I was down at the Ground Zero today for the memorial service, and I think the general feeling I got out of it was everybody can't believe that it's been 12 years already. And the pain is still there. I mean, I don't think it's there as much as it was every day, every hour of the day. But certainly today, while I was sitting in the tent with the people who were going to read their family members' names, there was a lot of anguish, a lot of tears, and very, very sad, sitting there watching other folks read names, and then they had their turn to go. And, it's very difficult to face for us who were so directly involved in it.
I mean, 343 firefighters, 23 NYPD, 37 Port Authority police officers, 15 EMS, and 3 court officers. And that's just the people who were on the job, so to speak, not including, of course, the couple of thousand civilians.
Right. Yeah, there were a lot of heroes that day. We do know, the heroism of the New York City Fire Department, the New York City Police, and Port Authority Police, and other uniformed. But there are other stories to be told. A lot of civilians who just went to work that day found themselves in challenging positions and chose to help others over their own life. And some of them survived and some of them did not. But Americans, New Yorkers, and good human beings decided to step forward to help those in need. When someone was obese or disabled or pregnant, they decided instead of running out of the building that they would stay and help those people. Those civilians are heroes too.
Absolutely.
And, that's just what this country is made up of. It kind of reminds me of what went on in Washington, D.C. today with the false Million Muslim March, but the true 2 million motorcycle.
And they were denied a permit to close some streets, yet the Muslim March was given a permit to have that rally there on 9/11.
Yeah, well, here we have political correctness rearing its head again, I guess. I don't know.
Well, the political correctness or worse than that. But you were talking about, you were in I guess, 7 World Trade Center when the first plane hit, and you didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, that's right. The first indication I had was when the power went out in 7 World Trade Center for about 5 seconds, and then it kicked back on. And in my experience in training, I know that means we lost a large source of power, and then it was rerouted, and we got it back. But I mean, that doesn't happen, especially in Lower Manhattan. So I knew something big happened. But it took me grabbing a young girl by her shoulders who was running out, who had seen what happened, and asking her what happened, and she told me that a plane hit the building, and that was the first indication I had that what happened. And you know, I guess it was just automatic mode, and I think that's true for the cops and the firemen, everyone. You know, we just went into our rescue disaster mode and put our heads down and did what we had to do. And I mean, the only reason I'm still here is because my job was in the lobby. My job was not to go up the stairs.
Right. No, and of course your brother who was waiting, Chris, who was waiting and hoping to hear you call and couldn't reach you and feared the worst. And of course, thank God you were okay. And like you said, the people who were supposed to help helped, and the people who, you know, maybe didn't go to work that day thinking they were going to help, and it certainly wasn't their job, they helped, and that speaks to who Americans are. And Tim, it's always great to talk to you, and you're doing a great thing with Ride to Recovery. And again, everybody should think about 9/11 and think about what Tim has went through and what he's doing now to help those returning veterans who need it. Ride to, the number 2, ride2recovery.com. Thank you, Tim. Take care of yourself.
Good being with you. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. All right,
Okay,
Tim Brown,
bye.
ladies and gentlemen, retired New York City firefighter here on the Steve Malzberg Show. All right, folks, tomorrow we'll be joined by the likes of Rick Santorum, Noel